Welcome to SWILL Radio. I'm Dave,
And I'm Mike.
and today is gonna be a great day. What are we talking about today, Mike?
Well, Dave, I'm glad you asked that question. All right, so we're going to go over some more 90 Day Fiancé, Season 7, Episode 5, Part 1. All right, so we got Mike and Natalie. All right, so she tries to finesse him with breakfast, and she talks about how the tomatoes and the eggs are all fresh and how they're so good. And, she's going through the motions and everything, looking like the wife in the kitchen, and he's really happy. He's staring her down the whole time, and she's trying to put on a show and all this good stuff. All right, so they sit down, and he's like, hey, you going to call mama? And she's like, no, not yet. And she said that she has something to talk to him about. And she goes through, and then she lets him know that, hey, I want to have a child. And he's looking like, okay. And it's because of her age. That's why she's worried about having a kid, because she's 35 years old, and she doesn't have very many years, that many eggs left, and so many chances she's going to be able to do. But there's people that are like 50 years old having kids still. Like, it happens. It's possible. All right. So he basically tells her that, hey, I just want to get you to the United States first. Let's think about that first, and then we'll, tackle everything else that we can possibly handle. And he basically wants to tell her about his debt and everything like that, because he's broke. He doesn't have any money. He has like so much debt out of his yin-yang. He can't afford to, pay for this and pay for that. He's got to pay for the visa. He's got to pay for the flight and everything to go back to the United States. It's a bunch of stuff. So if you add kids to the equation to that, guys, it's not a good look. So this guy's got his head screwed on a little bit tight, is from what I can tell. But he needs to wait. Looks like he's trying to wait for his gut. All right, so then we got good old Anna and Marcel. All right, so she asked him to make a honeycomb altar, and he does so, and it actually looks pretty good, like pretty damn good, guys. She's working with some little honey jars and some things like that, and then he comes up and says, "Hey, everything is finished," and he's like "Chokuzel," which means very nice, very beautiful, and she's like, "Yeah, let's go out there and look at it." So she looks at it and she's like, "Yeah, she loves it. It looks nice. It's awesome," and she can tell that there's something that's bothering him. And she's like, "Hey, what's bothering you?" And then he's like, "Oh, the kids, they don't like me." And she's like, "Why don't you go talk to them?" And he's like, "No." And she's like, "Why not?" He's more or less the kind of person that doesn't like to have any kind of conflict or anything like that. So he kind of avoids that whole deal. And he just noticed that the oldest kid is disrespecting him, which he is. It's very obvious. He can't be like, "No, he's not disrespecting." He's disrespecting him big time. Oldest kid does not like him. And the biggest thing is they have a language barrier, It's like they have to use an app. Let's say they don't have any internet or anything like that. They can't use the app anymore. They're screwed. So what's the point, guys? Can't translate everything with an app. You got to use the old talking with each other. That's the only way you're going to be able to do it. All right, so then we got good old Robert and Annie. All right, so she says that, Bryson's always giving her a hug and kiss on her, and he does not do it. So she's worried about why Robert doesn't do the same thing. She's still on a whole thing where she wants him to delete his photos from his exes and everything like that with the kids in the photo. And he's still defending the whole thing with the kids if they get older. Hey, you have any pictures of my mom, whatever? And that's his story. He's sticking to that. All right, so they decide to go to the gym, and they're gonna have a boxing lesson. They're gonna work out some frustration, because they have a lot of frustration going on with each other, and that's pretty much how it is. So they're talking to the trainer, and Annie starts speaking Spanish, and Robert's like, "Whoa, I don't speak Spanish." And she's talking to this trainer, and hope he doesn't give out my information, like give out our personal business. So he's just like, just waiting it out, I guess. So the trainer kind of puts his 2 cents in there and is like, "Hey, if you have problems now, you got 90 days to figure it out. If you don't know the person, it's kind of weird to get married so soon." And he said, I'm not a marriage counselor or anything like that, which that's where he should have stopped it at right there. He shouldn't have even went as far as he did, but he did it anyway. All right, so we got Michael and Juliana. All right, so he takes her out in his muscle car, which is a Ford GT. And I don't know if it's like 1960 something, maybe 1970. I think 1960 something. Probably like 1969. I'm not really sure what year that is, but that car is nice. It's blue and white, and they pull out in the garage. So it seems like this guy has a lot of cars. Seems like it. I see him driving a Porsche. I see him driving that Ford GT. I see him driving a Mustang. So I guess he's like a Ford guy. More or less, he's a Ford guy. All right, so they're going out furniture shopping, and they're going through and looking at some different stuff like that. and there's a bunch of furniture that they see, but there's this one furniture that she likes in particular. It's like white, blue, and it looks like some kind of Chinese painting or something like that. And that's what she says she likes. But it happens to be a $14,000 couch. All right. And he's just like, whoa, wait a minute. And the storekeeper is asking, hey, would you like it now? You like it now, but what about 5 years down the road? And he, Michael's like, well, I'm hoping she likes me in 5 years. And then they look at some little spongy looking thing, like a sea sponge. And she's like, yeah, I've seen it before. I've seen it when I used to watch Bob Sponge, which she's talking about SpongeBob. And it's kind of funny. All right, so they sit down and they talk about some things. And then he sees that he brings the fact that she bought a car a couple weeks before she was supposed to come back to the United States. And she explained why she bought the car. And he's like, well, what's the car doing now? Sitting in front of your yard doing nothing? And she said, no, my sister or one of her relatives is using it as a taxi. And he's like, to make money? And she said, yeah, make money. And he's like, okay, let's go ahead and drop it and then move forward. So he's like over this whole story with the car. So he doesn't want to talk about the car anymore. All right. So, yeah. We got those two. And then we got Emily and Sasha. Like these guys' stories, man, they're freaking horrible. Horrible. So they're bringing back Michael and Angela. So I guess that's the drama people. They're going to bring them back. All right. So basically, Emily and Sasha bring the baby back home. And then you're watching it. And then all of a sudden the kid's big. And it's like, wait a minute. WTF. You got super time lapse going on. So this kid's huge, man. But it turns out that, she was in the country, Russia, for 6 months. And the reason why they were there for 6 months is because Sasha didn't apply for the Russian passport. So that was pretty much it. His stuff, everything was approved. They're ready to go, but they can't take the baby because the baby didn't have a Russian passport. And I think he might have done that on purpose. All right. She comes home and she sees that the baby's sitting in the chair on the floor. And Sasha's on the iPad doing his thing. And she's like, oh, you got to talk to him. You can't leave him on the iPad all day. And, you can't be on the iPad all day and have him this and that. And she's like, you need to talk to him. Speak English with him. Speak Russian to him. And he's like, oh, he's too young to do this and do that. Which is not true. Kids are like sponges anyway. They soak it all up. But in a way, she's right. But she's just nagging this dude out like hardcore. But he's like, he's not crying. He's not doing anything. So they go out for a walk. And then she just comes up with a little list of demands that he should do when they get to the United States. I don't want you to be on an iPad. I want you to take the kid out for walks. I want you to talk to the kid. I want you to play with the kid. All right, so then we got good old Blake and Jasmine. All right, so he invites friends over. I think it's like the second day that she's there. And she says she wants to have like a mellow day out. No people, nothing like that. And it's like, you're coming to go, meet this dude and you want to like just hang out in a hotel room? Not a good look. Okay, so the friends come over and they're ordering drinks. Like there's a lot of friends and they're ordering drinks. And they find out that she doesn't drink and they think it's kind of strange. So they go on and on. They ask her a couple questions. It's like, what do you want to see first? And she's like, I don't know. It's like she didn't do any research before she came to the country. And they're just like, this is weird. So I guess she got some weird vibes. And she decided that, I don't feel too well. I'm going to go to the room. And I'm just like, what? She's going to go to the room? So he lets her go. He gives her a little room key. And then he lets her go to the room. I'm like, what? I'd be like, nah, you're going to sit your butt here. And you're going to socialize with my friends. Whether you like them or not. Period. I know if the shoe was on the foot, she would expect him to do the exact same thing. But Blake, if you are watching and listening, bro, DM me. I got some words to tell you, brother. Like, for real. Straight up. All right, so then we got good old Tanya and Sinjin. So they're going to her sister's for lunch. And he's already met, like, the mom and the sister already. So he already knows them. But he's going to meet some other family member, like the grandma and some other people. All right? And they sit down, they talk for a little bit. And, he's like family. And they're going to treat him like family. And they do treat him like family. And they talk a little bit. And then they find out that Tanya's going to be leaving for 30 days. She's going to be going to like one of her little voluntary things or whatever out of the country for 30 days. And that's within the 90 days that, that's 30 days that they're not going to have together to get everything, situated as far as learning each other, find if they're really compatible. Because I don't think they're really compatible. In a way they kind of are. It's like almost like oil and water. But I don't know, guys. It's one of those things where I'm hoping for the best, but I don't think the best is going to happen for these people right here, guys. honestly, I told you guys before in previous episodes, Robert or Andy, my favorite. But definitely want to hear from you guys. Put your information in the comments below, and we can see what you guys think about everything. But either way, guys, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for part 2.
Subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification, guys.
And we'll always keep you guys up to date on the latest trends.
Check out our Facebook and our Twitter. The links are in the description below.
Thanks for listening.